Phase 2 didn't feel like training anymore. It felt like responsibility. By the time we entered Phase 2, the expectation was clear. You should already know how to listen. Now, you would prove you could execute. One of the first changes was physical and symbolic. We transitioned out of Go Fasters, our running shoes, and into boots. Boots changed everything. They were heavier, hotter, unforgiving. Every step mattered. Marching became louder. Mistakes became more visible. Boots meant one thing: you were being trusted with more. Not long after, we relocated. We woke early and marched to new squad bays closer to the rifle range. From that point on, the range wasn't something we visited. It was where we lived. Everything in Phase 2 revolved around the rifle. Before a single live round was fired, Grass Week began. Days on the deck, hours at a time, prone, sitting, kneeling, learning fundamentals, sight alignment, sight picture, breathing control, trigger squeeze. Coaches corrected inches, not ideas. Elbows adjusted, stocks repositioned, cheek weld refined. Grass Week taught patience. It taught that accuracy begins long before the trigger is pulled. Then came Range Week, live fire. The rifle became real. On the firing line, you learned composure. Breathing slowed, focus narrowed. Stress exposed mistakes instantly. Some days you weren't shooting. You were assigned to the pits, behind the berm, out of sight. Pulling targets, standing in the pits was unforgettable. You heard the rounds first. A sharp whizzing crack as bullets passed overhead, then impact. A heavy thud when a round hit paper, sometimes a violent snap against the target frame. When a round missed and struck the berm, dirt and grass came raining down from above. No hesitation. Targets dropped, shots marked, holes patched, targets run back up, everything timed, everything precise, and always the voice on the PA system, targets. Or suddenly, cease fire, cease fire, cease fire. Every movement stopped instantly, no delay. In the pits, you learned something critical. Marksmanship wasn't just about shooting, it was about trust. Qualification day carried weight. Scores mattered, but composure mattered more. One breath at a time, one trigger squeeze at a time. When we weren't actively on the range, training didn't slow. Drill intensified, more marching, sharper movements. Manual of arms continued, popping sticks echoed constantly. Boots striking deck, rifles snapping in unison. One sound, one movement. Weapon maintenance became routine. Cleaning rifles thoroughly, bolt, chamber, carbon. Inspections followed. A dirty rifle wasn't a small mistake. It was unacceptable. Phase 2 also demanded endurance away from the range. We marched long distances to the educational facilities, boots on pavement, rifles slung, heat pressing down. By the time we arrived, legs were heavy, uniforms soaked, energy already drained. Then we sat in classrooms, back straight, eyes forward. This was a different test. Staying awake was harder than running. We learned Marine Corps history, values, customs and courtesies, ethics, non-negotiable knowledge. Fatigue made it dangerous. Heads nodded, eyes burned. Drill instructors noticed everything. A head dip, eyes closed too long, immediate correction. Not because the lesson didn't matter, but because it mattered more when tired. That was the point. The Marine Corps doesn't teach knowledge when you're rested and comfortable. It teaches it when you're exhausted. Those marches back afterward felt heavier, not just physically, but mentally. Phase 2 didn't let you separate physical fatigue from mental responsibility. It demanded both at the same time. Confidence training expanded. The confidence course tested hesitation, high obstacles, ropes, walls. Once committed, stopping wasn't an option. The obstacle course followed. Timed movement, upper body endurance, grip strength. Fatigue made everything harder. Quitting was not an option. MCMAP continued. More structure, more intent, controlled aggression, balance, discipline, confidence in movement, knowledge expectations increased, ranks, history, general orders, questions came constantly, online, while marching, while exhausted. Wrong answers brought immediate correction. Inspections never stopped. Gear, uniforms, rifles. The standard didn't relax, it tightened. Somewhere near the end of Phase 2, the platoon changed. Less noise, fewer mistakes. Corrections were precise now, not chaotic. We weren't being taught anymore. We were being trusted. Standing in formation, boots planted, rifle steady, something became clear. Phase 1 taught us how to listen. Phase 2 taught us how to execute under pressure. Ahead of us was Phase 3, the crucible, not a mystery, a test.